is Clint.
This is Jim Bob.
We are the Whiskey Drinkers. And that's Lou. Lou. I was going to call him Lulu. That's Louie.
Oh, we're just kidding.
So, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. Got us a little campfire.
Got one tied on.
Got one tied on. I can't even talk. You hear it?
Clint just looked at the...
Son?
Use this technique to find out how long do we have?
Each finger's 15 minutes. You put this at the top of the hill. You put the sun at the top of your fingers. And it's 15 minutes each finger.
So, how many fingers you got?
Well, we figured we got about a half hour.
We're about
That was a joke right there.
Oh.
But we had about a half hour because it was like, let's get rid of that one. The top of the hill was there, the sun was there. So 15, half hour, 45 minutes.
like 3 fingers deep.
We figured we got about a half hour.
All right, so
45 minutes, maybe an hour. Hell, I
we
don't
figured,
know.
fuck it, let's do a drunken discussion.
All right, here we got us a little fire going. Got some wood here. And kind of tossing that on. All right. Oh yeah, something I was watching. That Joe Rogan guy. Joe Rogan's podcast stuff. He had this guy on there, older guy. Sounded a lot. If you weren't looking, sounded just like Seth Green.
Oh wow.
Or Seth Green?
Yeah, that
Seth
redheaded
Rogen.
kid. Oh,
Seth Rogen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the stoner guy.
Yeah.
Sounded just like him.
That's pretty cool.
And he was talking to Joe Rogan about the land bridge, and that was whenever we had the polar ice caps and shit. Whenever the world was frozen or whatever.
And then the animals jumped from place to place.
Yeah, because they just walked across the ice to get from like Europe to America and shit.
Yeah.
So this guy was on there talking, and it was pretty fucking amazing. It's like, how did I never think about that before? Because I spent a lot of nights drunk and high trying to figure this stuff out.
Yep.
And it made sense whenever that guy said it. He said that whenever... My leg's sore.
We'll get to it. Get to the damn point.
I'm sorry. I know you're excited. Okay, so whenever we had the miles and miles thick of ice that came down to the top of Pennsylvania, all the way from like Siberia, well, not Siberia, but the...
Like New Zealand and stuff.
No, that's the wrong way.
Oh.
From like Antarctica and shit down. Like
Yeah.
above Canada, Canadian.
Like
all
Greenland and
up
stuff.
past Alaska and all that.
Yeah.
Not Greenland. Well, what had happened was the ice was like miles and miles thick and shit. So, like northern Pennsylvania was under like fucking 10 mile of ice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's unfathomable. And so, the guy was saying that, and you got to look at it like this. If you take a cup and you put an ice cube in it, you fill that cup up with water. When the ice cube melts, the water never goes over.
Yeah.
Because ice takes up the volume of water that it contains.
It's like, I remember this story. This little bird kept putting pebbles inside of a glass of water because he wanted a drink. And finally got up enough he could stick his little beak in there and get him a drink. Same thing.
Yeah, I guess. So, now, that guy, what was I talking about?
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Something about a land bridge.
Oh, okay. So, there's all this ice. And being that there's only so much water on the earth, all the water kind of receded in because whenever it evaporated and shit, and the wind currents took it up that way, up north, and it froze to make rain and made ice and froze and all that shit, that the, let's see, if you took...
I'm confused.
Okay, say this is the water, the ocean.
Yeah.
And this is like Florida, we'll say.
All right. Yeah.
So, yeah, that little thingy right there is a peninsula of Florida.
Yeah, okay.
So the water's here, that's the ocean. Well, whenever the, what's that called? The
land bridge?
The waters receded because they went up to they turned into water, snow and shit up. They froze over the ice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, I'll try that again.
Well, what's the point of the whole thing?
Well, the point of the whole thing is that the water from the ocean, the water level went down.
Yeah. So Florida was underwater back then.
No. Florida was actually more land back then.
Oh.
Because
you
you had to take that water out of there to put it up here to become ice.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Okay. So, now how we all think of like global warming and shit, the water's gonna rise.
Yeah.
That's because there's less ice. So if there's more ice, then that means there's less water, so the water goes down.
Yeah.
That makes sense. The ocean's not as deep because now that water is ice up here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you're taking from here and putting it over here.
It's like that bird taking the stones out of the water. So what you're trying to say is that everybody's like, it's going to flood the whole fucking United States and stuff, when actually, that's not how it happened.
Well, no, that's
There's
what's
not
happening
enough
now
water.
because the ice is melting.
Oh.
It's still melting.
Oh.
So when all that water that's melted, if you reversed it, it would go back up in the ice.
Yeah.
So like think about it like this: Pennsylvania, the top of Pennsylvania is not frozen. There's no icebergs up there and shit. But at one time it was.
Yeah.
So all that water down here now, if you played it in reverse, would come back up here and turn into ice. And
So what does that mean?
so it means that like the landmass of the world was a lot bigger.
Oh. Yeah.
Kind of make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
So now that you have, say, the Bering Strait, that's the chunk of water between like Antarctica and Siberia. And
Yeah.
shit. So that water wouldn't be there because it's weird. Now this is funny because the dude was showing us maps and shit. Well, he was showing Joe Rogan maps. I was just watching.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
spectator.
Yeah.
And so that water wasn't there because the ice was all on like this side of the globe.
Yeah.
And it wasn't on this side of the globe.
Yeah.
That's why Greenland was once green.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Oh, shut up, Louis. Greenland was once green. That's how it got its name.
Yeah.
And Iceland was once icy.
But not,
Unlike,
it's literally like the opposite.
Yeah.
But that's how they used to be.
that's how it used to be.
All right.
So now that big patch of water there, the Bering Strait thingy,
yeah.
wasn't there because all that water was over here, ice.
What are the implications of this? What's
So
it saying?
like all the animals and shit, and even people, because there was people back then.
Yeah.
Don't get that shit twisted. There was people back then.
Yeah.
Were able to just walk across the land
Yeah.
because it was all just like this here.
So it's kind of like what our history books taught us
They're all fucking lies.
is lying, because I still don't really understand. We should have probably told me before this, because I don't know what
Well,
the
I
fuck
figured it would be a surprise. I thought you'd get it. Okay, let me try this again.
But what I don't understand the point of it. You're explaining all this stuff, but what's the main point of
the
it all?
point is,
There's more water than what we thought.
Well, the point is that woolly mammoths and shit didn't walk across these big sheets of ice.
Yeah.
Because think about this.
Oh, you're saying that once the water was actually lower, and they walked across the land.
Yeah, because there was more ice.
Oh, yeah.
So, because like I said, if you have an ice cube and water, they take up the
There's
same
only
space.
so much water on the earth.
Correct.
So if a lot of it's ice, then then there's not
Then
going to be
there's-
as much water.
In the oceans.
Oh, wow.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So now,
So you're saying that eventually we're all going to die because the whole United States is going to be consumed by water.
no, I think we'll be all right.
Because then polar caps are.
Yeah, they're
melting.
melting, but I think we'll be all right. There was another thing to that too. I don't. No, it wasn't discussed on there. It was discussed on something else. They were talking about the great flooding and shit.
Yeah.
Think about if you have a big ice cube.
Yeah.
Say you have an ice cube that big, and it's melting.
Yeah, but why would I have an ice cube that big though? That wouldn't even fit in a glass or nothing.
For thinking purposes.
Oh, okay.
Well, remember back in the day, you used to use a big ass chunks of ice
Yeah.
to keep things cold, and they put them in the back of a truck and shit.
Yeah, I
It was
do.
like a moving freezer.
Yeah, but that's like people would. Why would I need that big thing?
Well, you don't. This is just for something to think about.
Oh, okay, yeah,
This is
yeah.
for,
So I have like an imaginary piece of ice,
Yeah.
and maybe I have a reason for it.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Okay, so you got that big ass piece of ice.
Yeah.
Now, when it's melting, it's not melting in one particular spot. The whole thing's melting.
Yeah, but if I had a piece of ice that big, I wouldn't let it melt because that's pretty cool, and I shouldn't have a piece of ice that
Probably
big.
not, but I'm
pretty
just saying,
special.
Like if all of a sudden, poof, there's a big piece of ice right here.
Yeah. Well, then I would try to take it home and put it in the
Well,
freezer.
you couldn't, Jim Bob. Look where we're at. You ain't gonna pick that shit up. It's heavy.
Okay, so we're sitting
So
here.
anyways, you got
Maybe
this
I'm
big ass
tied up.
chunk of ice. Yeah.
It's melting.
All right. So now that ice is melting on all four sides.
Yeah.
All six sides. How many sides are on a cube? I don't know.
Yeah, like 12.
But think about this now. As it's melting, it's also forming a puddle on top of it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, at one point, you know how ice is. Once it starts melting, it cracks and shit.
Yeah, oh,
and
yeah.
so now you got this big ass puddle on top.
Yeah.
And this part over here cracks or something. Now you got this giant gush of water.
Yeah.
Now you have this giant flooding
Ah.
because you got these massive fucking lakes on top of these ice. What are those called? Ice cubes. Icebergs. Icebergs. Now that fucking thing cracks and you got all this water fucking rushing down there.
It's kind of like whenever they make those slaloms that you can do shots down.
Yeah, same
Kind of like
concept.
that, like
same
boom, right in your
concept.
fucking mouth and get all drunk.
But now you're talking like a fucking Great Lake. Like you've been to Erie.
Yeah.
You know how big Lake Erie
Oh,
is?
yeah, it's pretty big.
Now imagine that on top of an iceberg.
Just going whoosh.
Just fucking going.
Wow.
Like there's nothing stopping it.
So basically, we're all going to die.
Well, no, there's no icebergs, so it doesn't matter anymore. Well, I mean, there are still icebergs.
They're everywhere.
They ain't really affecting us right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's a concept, though, that was thought of. That it's pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Something else as crazy as volcanoes. I mean, I might be going off
Super
topic.
volcanoes,
Yeah.
like Yellowstone. That
Yeah.
goes off real
Wow. What if there's super volcanoes
That
underneath?
shoot icebergs.
No, but underneath
Oh.
that earth, where he's saying like there used to be it's basically what you're saying is underneath all the water, all the earth is connected. It's a big piece of earth, just a lot of it's underneath the water.
Oh yeah.
So back then, whenever those Indians or whatever came across from India to America, then you're saying basically they're not walking over ice, they're just walking over that natural earth.
Yeah, because think about this.
So there's volcanoes under there.
Think about this. How many miles are there from like the East Coast here of the States to fucking Europe?
Like 800.
Lots of them, right?
Yeah.
Now, if that's all frozen, what are they eating? Because they're walking back then.
Wow, that's a good point.
What are they eating?
Yep. Maybe
they ain't packing enough food to take with them.
Yeah, oh yeah. Maybe Sarah Ann's walking and she trips over something, falls into a patch of ice that's not
Then they're
hard.
probably going to eat her, but
She'll,
still.
yeah, but she'll fall into the water and stuff and die.
That many miles of walking in those harsh conditions,
Yep.
you're going to run out of people to eat.
You're not eating berries.
Yeah.
That's right.
So there you go. They didn't walk across ice. They walked across fucking land.
You know what? I think that's,
That makes perfect sense.
We need to change the history books because I believe them.
See, now you see why I saved that to tell you, because it's pretty impressive whenever...
That's pretty insane. But here's a question for you.
I mean, if I would have explained it to you, and you, like, had to have somebody else explain it to you, it might take you longer to understand it.
It could have. Well, what the hell's... what about the dinosaurs, though?
Well, that's a whole nother discussion.
It is. And maybe we'll talk about it next time.
We might.
All right, so that's about it, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
So you guys just say what you guys think about the barren wastes, whatever the fuck he's talking about.
Barren Strait and the icebergs.
Yeah, put it down in the comments. You guys think it was...
bridge.
You think the world had more land on it, or you think it was actually ice and stuff? Or you think it's not even true and the dinosaurs were here and killed human beings? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about
All
this
right, well, let's go to the core and get something to drink.
Oh, no, I need a drink after all that thinking.